Hello, hello. Okay, we're on version 3.13 now, and I wanted to just do an update on Quicksheets and just explain Quicksheets and how it works. Quicksheets is a notebook. So to close the document, you can just pull down from the top. You can see down here that you can add a notebook or you can add a quick sheet. Folders obviously are like filing drawer cabinets. They hold notebooks and quick sheets. Folders do. Okay, so we're not talking about folders. We're talking about notebooks. We're talking about quick sheets, which are a notebook. And I'm going to show you that if I add right now a quick sheet, see down the bottom it says page 9 of 9. The way Quicksheets works is it adds a page into an existing quick sheet, not an existing notebook. Don't think of it like that, an existing quick sheet. So now when I show you all the pages in here, in this document that's called Quicksheets, you'll see that it just added this blank page, and if I was just writing my notes, I would be writing my notes, right? Okay, so let me go back to the beginning of this document because I made the notes in this quick sheet, and I will show you that it's a notebook and it's called Quicksheets, capital Q space little s, Quicksheets with an S on the end. And that's actually really important because the reason it adds a page is because it is exactly called that, exactly uppercase, lowercase, spaces, that's the exact. As soon as you change any of that, when you press add quick sheet, it no longer will put a page in this document. There's only one and it's spelt that way, it's called that, and it's in your home directory always. The thing is, several months ago, last year, they changed it so that you could move and rename this document now and turn it into a regular notebook. You couldn't do that before. It was on the it was on the home directory. You can tell this is my home directory because it just says my files. It's got no tree. There's no breadcrumbs after it. So we know we're in our home directory. But it was here, Quicksheets, you see that there. You couldn't rename it, you couldn't delete it, and you couldn't move it. But all of that has changed now, and you can do all of those things to it. But to start with today, what we're doing is we're just actually looking at the characteristics of Quicksheets. So there's no settings. As you saw, let me just hop out again. When I want to add a quick sheet, it's like, excuse me, it's like a sticky note. When I add a quick sheet, see how it doesn't ask me for any settings. It just puts me into the document, and you can see I'm now on page 10 of 10, whereas we were just on page 9, right? Now, if I pull down and hop out of the document again and I add a notebook, it's going to ask me for settings. It's going to ask me for the title. It's going to say, do you want the cover to be the first page or the last page visited? I always select the first page, and I don't use templates much. So I normally, let me just tap on that. I normally just keep blank, but here you could go into the template directory and use any one of these, or you can upload your own with a third-party app. Right, and then you click create. So there's 1, 2, 3 settings, and then you click create, and now we're in page 1 of 1. We're in a new notebook, right? And it has settings. So I'm just doing this because when you have blank pages, it can get a little confusing. So the new notebook has settings. So again, let's close that one out. It's popped it here because I was in this directory when I made it, but I'm going to go into the document drawer and I'm going to go back to Quicksheets. All right. So as you can see, we added a quick sheet and added it into the existing document that is called exactly Quicksheets, and it's in the home directory. So that's really important because if you get lost and you don't know where it's gone, the first thing you do is you always check your home directory because that's where Quicksheets will be. Okay, so it is convertible. So there's no settings. We did that. It is convertible now. You can delete it, move it, and rename it. And that's when, as soon as you rename it and move it, into another folder, that's when it thinks there's no longer a quick sheet, and when you press add quick sheet, it will create a brand new document again called Quicksheets, and you can start again. So, but it is important to know that it is convertible, it is movable, you'll see here, and it is deletable. This is me showing you actually what you need to do in terms of, no, not what you need to do, what the characteristics of the file name are. All right, so but deletable, I'm going to give that a tick. I've explained that. Now, let's talk about movable. So I've added a few pages in here just to show you. So these several pages here, let's just say I've got a client and I've made some notes for her, and I actually want to pull this out into its own notebook, which is really what we should be doing, because we shouldn't be having our client's notes all wrapped up with other things. Like, what else have I got in here? I'm planning a work party. I've got a shopping list in here. Yeah, a shopping list. I've got some birthdays that I was starting to record. You know, these things all belong in their own notebook in their appropriate folder. So what we do is, if we are wanting to record our notes this way, then at the end of the day, a good workflow is to then go through each page and create a notebook in the appropriate folder. All right, so let's go client Molly. Here's the notes. It's only one page, so I'm going to go to page view. I'm going to do a long press. You can tell it's now selected by the big black box, and these are the options that come up. I'm going to say, all right, I want to move Molly out of Quicksheets, and I want her to have her own notebook. So you can see the option now is a new notebook. Now, these folders up here are dynamic. I can click on one, it will take me into that folder, as is the breadcrumbs up the top. But at the moment, I'm in my files, so there are no breadcrumbs. But I want to put Molly in my client folder, which is my coaching one-on-one folder. So I'm going to move it here. And I need to say new notebook because she is a page inside of Quicksheets at the moment. So I click on new notebook. I'm going to call it Molly. And I like the first page. So, and then I'm going to click create. So now I've moved Molly there. You can see that it's one page, and I will show you that it's now a notebook and it's page 1 of 1. Now, when I come out of here and I go back, so let's go into the document drawer and go back into Quicksheets. You see here, Quicksheets, that document that we're in, you'll find that Molly is gone. When I go to overview, there's no Molly anymore because I've pulled it out and popped it in its own notebook, and I've put it in the appropriate folder, which is the correct workflow to keep everything neat and tidy and organized, right? Now, let's do birthdays. So I want to put birthdays in my home folder, and I'm accumulating this list right now, and I'm going to add a gift register into this notebook as well. Once I make a notebook. At the moment, it's a page in Quicksheets. So I'm going to long press. I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it out. I'm going to go to my files. I'm going to go to home, and I'm going to create a new notebook. Now I'm going to call this birthdays. I'm going to go first page, and I'm going to click create. And now that page is in here. So I know that because when I hop out, it's out here in here. And then when I tap on reMarkable, there's a few ways you can go back to your home folder. I'm going to go back into Quicksheets, and you'll see there's only 8 pages now, and my birthdays page is gone. And so that is probably the diligent workflow at the end of the day when you have to, you organise the David Allen system. You probably have your own system, but you've got the capture, and then you've got your organise. One of the steps is to reflect, right? And to come back in and to check what you've done and think about that whole process, and to stay cyclic with your diligence on all your actions. And so these are all my thoughts during the day, and now I need to assign them into the proper folder so that I can find them when I need to, right? Okay, so that's how you move a page out. What about moving the whole document? Yes, you can absolutely do that, and I will show you that, and then I've got one more thing to show you. So if I close this document, we can see that Quicksheets is on the home directory, and we know that because there's no breadcrumbs along here. We are in the root directory called My Files. But now what you can do is you can do a long press and you actually get options, whereas before you didn't get any options. You weren't allowed to do anything to it. So now I can export it, archive it, tag it, make it a favorite, duplicate it, rename it, send it somewhere, move it or delete it, right? Again, you couldn't do some of those things before. So let's move it. I'm going to move it into my work folder. I'm just going to put it here for now. I'm going to move it there. So now I've got an 8-page Quicksheet document that, now this is misleading. So now I'm going to show you something. My Files, when I want to add a Quicksheet now, what happens, it puts me into the Quicksheet document, even though it's in another folder, because of this one thing. And can anyone tell me what it is? It's the name. That's what I was saying to you, why this is so important. Whilst it's called Quicksheets, it's going to keep adding into this same file wherever you put it. Now, if I go into notebook settings and I change this to Quick Doc, right? And I press save. And so now we can see it's called Quick Doc, right? I'm going to come out. I'm going to go back to my home directory. Here we are. There's no Quicksheets. I moved it. I renamed it. Now, when I add a Quicksheet, watch this. Page 1 of 1. And it's here on the home directory, and it's got that exact type formatting. Capital Q, UICK, space, lower S, sheets. And so you start all over again with Quicksheets. So the key is the name. If you change that name, it no longer, the software no longer sees that document as the Quicksheets. You can only ever have one file name that's called that, which is standard, isn't it? Every file name has to be unique. So let me go into my document that's called now Quick Docs, okay, because that's where my notes are. So now you can see, if we go back to page 1, and then we'll finish up here. There's no settings, it's convertible. Each page is movable out and into a new notebook. The whole document is movable into another folder, and you can rename it. You can delete it. There is something special around the actual word Quicksheets. And here's the thing for me. I recommend when I'm helping people learn how to use their devices. On this device, when we talk about Quicksheets, my recommendation is that you use it when you have a good understanding of your filing system, when you've got a good discipline around filing and you've got your folder structure sorted, then Quicksheets is great when you know how to use it. But if you don't know how to use it, what happens, and I've experienced this quite a few times with people, is they lose their notes because they're inside of a document and they don't know how to get them out or to use them, right? So if you can imagine a paper notebook with notes on every page that are not about one topic, they're about all different sorts of things. That's what you do when you're creating a Quicksheet that's just got all different variety of notes in it. So where will you file each page? Well, that's why I wanted to show you that. So that was how we went into all the different topics and we filed them. We pulled that page out, we filed it in its own notebook, we put it in the correct folder. And now it's very easy. When I go to clients, I can easily go to work, I can go to coaching clients, I can find, whoops, I went too far. And I can find Molly. There she is there, right? I know exactly where it is because I pulled it out of the Quicksheet. So that's Quicksheets as it is we are July 2024. I hope that was helpful to you. Let me go back in the document drawer just to finish up. That is Quicksheets. And if you have any questions, please just down below, just ask me and I will get back to you. Thanks so much. Bye.